I can only speculate on it, and believe me, I've done a lot of speculating on that location. But I think what happened in schools is when you started to come in, everybody was looking for a room. That one happened to be vacant, so it started there, and then it grew, and it grew, and
Yeah, it was just a telephone room when this building was built. There was no data cabling.
At one time, there was a server at the central office.
There's still,
in Badger, there was a server there.
well, there still are some servers.
Okay.
They're more switches than anything else, but yeah, we kind of run a hub and spoke system, so every building goes to this building. If it's going to another building, it goes out from here. So this is the hub for the district.
That was originally a locker bay. If you look on the other side, it wasn't even a room at the time. They built it for that server specifically. It was just, if you look on the other side of it, the original locker bay is still there. And part of it was that it was an easy solution because there is that roof there that they put the air handler unit on.
Right.
So they could cool it quickly.
It was a lock bay.
Can you talk about, I don't see the guy that was in the tour,
No, he
that, the cement above it, somebody else was talking about it, I don't know, that guy was, I was talking to you. So just about if water would come down, that it's not like there's a big pool sitting above it, but there's a layer of cement or something? I didn't understand it.
Well, my thoughts were the second story, it's on cement, so the water's not gonna come through the cement, and I think the air handler ducts, if I remember, I came through like a 4-inch curve actually, so I think it would have to flood about 4 inches upstairs before it would actually start to penetrate through the floor penetrations.
Wouldn't there be sensors that would turn that
So,
on?
yeah, my question was, there's not a big tank up there, it's the heat exchangers, which are, the water's getting up there because it's being pumped up there. So couldn't it be added sensors to the building control system to shut down the pumps if it floods to say 2 inches? And then it would be, I mean, it's not, I'm not gonna defend the data center because it's not a great data center location. There's a lot of issues with it outside of being water above it. But purely for flooding, a lot of that could be mitigated because it's not really a tank, it's just being pumped above the room. And it could be, floor penetrations could be sealed above a certain water level that would allow the upstairs to flood, add floor drains upstairs, and then shut off the pumps through electric water sensors. I mean, at that point, if you've got that big of a leak, you're losing your heating system anyway, so who cares if we shut the pump down? That was kind of my thought with that up there. Now that said, the data center still does need a lot of updates. I'd say, planning-wise, the ball was dropped on that one 30 years ago, before it started to really grow. Because ideally, you'd be running a server floor that would allow you to run pressurized cooling through a server rack if you're going to do a modern server rack system. And they're forced to use just the natural flow through the servers to cool them, and that's why there's an extra fan blowing on some of the servers that are probably running pretty high utilization just because they're throwing off a lot of heat, and they don't have the air ducting was all one-sided in that room, so when you get to where the door entrance was, where that fan was, that's kind of the warm side of the room anyways. So there's a lot of issues that could be updated with that data center, but what the problem with that is because that's become the central hub, there's a lot of cost in rerunning all that fiber optic cable and all the copper to the nearby locations to that data center. So it becomes a huge infrastructure project to move the data center.
Is it still growing, that room? The things that you're adding to it, is it still getting bigger?
Oh yeah. Without question, yeah.
How does hardware virtualization impact the growth of that? More and more stuff virtualized, if not as much physical hardware in that.
You know, our IT guy would have to answer that question.
I can say from our aspect is as we've moved towards virtualization, the number of physical racks that we have had to cool has reduced. We've gone from 2 racks, each about 14 feet, 2 rows of racks, each about 14 feet long, to we're basically down to 1 rack system that's about 8 feet long now. Because virtualization has allowed us to cram a lot more horsepower and a lot more servers into a smaller physical space. So with that, our cooling loads have gone down overall because we're not running as many physical servers with that aspect. So virtualization does help as we're able to start to condense a lot of that stuff. Cloud computing helps because if you do like student emails, that can be offloaded to a cloud system like Office 365. You're not housing the physical server to do that anymore. So there's a lot of ways that you can reduce the amount of physical computing required, but you're always going to have for administration purposes, you're gonna have a lot of servers still, that the district needs to maintain for data backup and redundancy. And I'm not sure exactly what the data redundancy plan is for backup storage and stuff like that.
I'm a brick and mortar guy, not a tech guy.
I'm just curious if they're running that off-site to another location that they're keeping the data backed up, or exactly what they're doing. It's
Yeah.
just- I'd be
And
curious.
that's
how
something we can look to maybe bring the IT team in and answer some of those questions at the next meeting. I think the key reality here in this building is that we have over 2,000 students alone, right? And more, they're gonna have one, if not multiple devices on them that are gonna be dependent on that one room in just this building alone, let alone how that building's supporting the rest of the district. So, no doubt, probably some kind of best practice components that could come along with that, maybe some longer term planning. I think, again, bringing the IT team in might really be beneficial, to talk about some of those strategies, because I think no matter what, from an infrastructure standpoint, probably gonna wanna talk more about how that room and the adjacent space is, utilized and kind of maintained as we go forward. Okay, yeah, thank you for your feedback. That was valuable.
Thank you.
Yeah.
In planning, we're thinking about the physical plant and the heating and the air conditioning. Are we thinking at all about the costs of the older equipment as far as, let's see, if you turn the thermostat down in the winter time, I mean, we've got an older system, I mean, how much can we really save? I have to tell you, this is probably, nobody cares about this, but when I come in this building in the winter time, I am always hot. Is there any, I mean, is that because of the old system? Can't we turn it down more so the kids can put a sweater on?
It's controls, because we'll have some parts that are hot, some parts that are cold. It's very difficult to control this building. Again, there was, the ducting system it's called a dual duct VAV. It's not exactly easy to control or terribly energy efficient. What I can tell you is that this building runs about $1.05 a square foot per year on the energy side, which is really good for a building with a swimming pool. So,
So
energy
even
wise,
though we have old equipment, our energy costs are not higher?
they are higher, but they're not horrible.
Okay.
Is any, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and same thing with air conditioning, I mean, is our system here, 40 years old? Was there air conditioning when the first part of the building was built?
Yes.
Okay, so, once again, we have old equipment, air conditioning equipment, once again, is it costing us more to run that than if we were to replace it?
It is, but it's, I guess if I had to pick, I would rather have a building with older equipment and a really good building operator than a building with new equipment and somebody who didn't know how to run it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just one quick question, you kind of referred to it down in the lower part where the chillers and the boilers are, but with the compressor running, you might not have heard it. What is the age of the chillers on those systems?
I believe they're 1985.
So are those R12 units then, or R22, or
I think they're 12.
R12? Those are expensive to keep running.
So we were just talking, is there any, like HVAC, because I had called earlier this week about Badger, what is that, 5, 7 years old, and their HVAC already went, and then I said,
Well,
is it covered by the?
We had a leak in the storage tank, that the system is fine.
Oh.
We had to get the storage tanks replaced.
Oh, because I mean, we were even,
Repairs,
Dennis
rather.
was even at West Bend Mutual with me this weekend, and their HVAC went out, and that's West Bend Mutual. So, I mean, is it every system, is going to be,
Things are
you would have to
great.
maintain it, right, right.
It's just a question becomes frequency, availability of parts, ease of repair.
So then with Badger being so new, what happened?
We're trying to figure that one out. The Badger is a different system in as much as we have ice storage tanks there, and essentially what we do is we build ice at night when the utility rates are low, and then we use that ice to cool the building during the day so that we're not paying peak energy costs. And somehow the coils in those tanks ruptured. So we had to have them repaired. And so they were repaired and they're back up and running. We've had CalMac out to have a look at them. and the manufacturer, they've gone back and they're scratching their heads and trying to figure out exactly what happened, so, yeah, things happen. If you could be error-free and breakdown-free, that'd be my ideal world, but don't live there.